Well, a bit surprising, but yeah, I'm gonna have to move this just a little bit. It's well, I didn't expect this package to arrive today, which I'm trying to remember if this is this. Okay, yeah, it's up here at the top of the smiley face. I don't know. This might be this week's releases. I don't remember. In this case, it might mean that next week there won't be any anime, and I guess I'll have to do another cooking video. I guess we'll see. Yeah, for a while there, I brain farted and could not see this. The container that has this in it. Don't like running it deep like that. That does have risk of hitting things. But fortunately, I don't think I hit anything in there. But yeah, it should be a nice big update. I didn't expect this package to be this big, but it did have 9 things, and it should still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, a little bit of a big update. So let's accidentally bump into the camera again, and then start this. Beginning with a Black Clover. I think that says part 7, but honestly I cannot read it through the plastic. So let's see, I can feel it, yeah. But yeah, this should be season 2 part something. Oof. I guess before we look at that, let's look at this. We've got regions A and B. We've got an English dub. Includes season 2 part 3. I can't see it. That's a 5. Oh jeez. I don't know. I don't want to look at the text right now. Okay, yeah, there is some loose broken plastic on the inside. Oh, yeah, I can kind of see there where it would have come from. I think I can. Here it is. Although I am really bad at picking it up tonight, apparently. Anyways, we do have some really nice background on this. I would have thought this one would have had a box, but maybe I'm mistaken. Well, I don't know. It is what it is. I know season 1 had a box, and I think I'm reading that right, but the problem is I can't see it at all through the camera there. And there's a part of me that wants to read it as a part 3 just because of the type, but I don't think that's right. So, I don't know. I'll take a closer look at what I ordered when I posted it online. Let's see, this set aside, and then we got the season 2 art book. Well, a season 2 art book, probably the. I honestly don't remember what the other ones look like. Looked like some pretty cool, maybe keyframe sort of art in there. Oh well. Next up we have Crusher Joe, the movie, on Blu-ray. This is, Eastern Star Discotheque continuing their release of everything. that nobody else wants to claim, I guess. The deal went sideways just like it always does. Audio, I see English and 2 Japanese channels. Interesting. And, as is really nice of Eastern Star Discotheque, they do have a different art on the inside as usual. I wonder if the back's the same. And I don't know much about this movie. It's been around for a long time, I think. I mean, it looks 80s, maybe. But it might not be. And that looks like some neat background, but I want to get through all this stuff. Yeah, next up we have After the Rain, which looks curious. I don't know what to make of it. There's a lot of Blu-ray only stuff coming out lately. So over here I see an English dub, and I see Region A, 12 episodes on 2 discs. Special features, opening, closing, Japanese promos, and Sentai trailers. Available in print and digital. So, looks very relationshipy. Might be good. Kind of hard to tell. The characters look curious. Or rather, it's not that they are expressing curiosity so much as I kind of ponder what they are. Whether or not I'll have the energy to look is up for question. Bleach Blu-ray set 7. You know, this continues to come out. Let's see. And I was just thinking that it feels like there's not as much Viz stuff coming out. Why was I thinking that? Because didn't they release One Punch Man Season 1? I was thinking they haven't released One Punch Man Season 2. Haven't heard it, or from... It sounded like it wasn't as good or as well received. I feel like there's one more there. But I guess not. We have Her. I'd say more, but... Protect something. Oh. Yeah, another piece of plastic there. I wonder if I saved them all up, if I could have it to melt them all together and create another one. Not that I had the technology to do it, but curious. City Hunter, Season 1, Set 2, Episodes 27 through 51. So let's see. This one is Japanese with English subtitles only. Title free opening and closing. And once again, we have a different image on the cover versus the slip cover, which is, again, always nice. We have 27 through 39, 40 through 51. Don't know much about this series. Interesting. Most of it is black, but there's a little bit of Guy Nut and shadow behind this. That did not come out as easily as I was hoping, so... Oh well, I hope y'all got enough of view through the camera. Next up we have Astroganger. Huh. I'm wondering, this one could be really old. Looking at the back, I'm not entirely sure. Something about the art style made me think 60s or 70s. Although there aren't a lot of 60s anime, I think. And a lot of them tend to be black and white, although I think Kimba the White Lion, oh yeah, you know, we got the different opening. I wonder if it could still be 70s. I don't really know. Some of the stuff on the back could have easily been something 80s or 90s, just the way the animals were drawn, but I guess we're really just talking about what's common and what isn't. So this one is Japanese with English subtitles. Wait, is it? Audio. It doesn't say, although this says the original Japanese language with English subtitles. Interesting, because usually the audio there says which language it is, but because it says it up there, I guess it means this is Japanese with English subtitles. And look, we've got a reversible cover, which is basically just this, which is why you want this on the outside, so that when you put this slip cover on, you get all of the above. Pretty cool. Next we have Lupin the Third Goodbye Partner. I have no idea, but again, Discoteque / Eastern Star, you know, they're pretty dedicated to getting everything out there, and this is more of their Lupin the Third, or well, not there, but more Lupin the Third stuff, period. Looks like it is, the slipcover is the same, which isn't common, but it is what it is. I see English audio. When Kngdom betrays Lupin, will he say goodbye, partner? Lifetime Achievement Award. Lupin is one of my favorite series. I do see a Region A there. Here we have disc. And so I guess that's why that's the image used everywhere. I mean, this one's actually a really good one. If you don't have as much to choose from and you have maybe more limited, you know, this is good, but that I like that other one too, although that one, this one as the main one makes more sense. That looks like a series and the other one looks like, I don't know, Ninja Scroll the series, which I don't think came out on Blu-ray before. Did it come out on DVD before? I don't remember. Probably should have looked it up, but you know what? I kind of just, I'm going by guess on what I think is and is not available. And this one I see has an English dub. And I waited for the camera to focus so we can make sure. From the creators of the original Ninja Scroll movie. I see an A there. And different on the inside. It's pretty cool. Seeing that as a wolf, but it's actually a very vicious looking mask, it looks like. Well, a mask up here with some very vicious normal human teeth. But the two together make for an interesting... I hope that one came out really well. Although that said, I'm having trouble making out the background. Probably even worse for y'all because it looks like y'all are getting even more reflection than I am. Even if you all have a better image. Next up, we've got Not Durarara. Although something about this gives me that feeling. We're going to take off this sticker. I think this is Midnight something. Occult Civil Services. So no, not Midnight anything. I can't remember shit. And I'm taking this off in one of the less safe manners. And I can definitely feel some sticky residue behind. But I guess that's not too bad of a way to do it. But let's take a peek at the back. I see, man, you just can't, it just does not show up in the shadow of the camera. That's interesting. Regions A and B, that looks like an English dub. Catch all the action with the complete series plus 3 OVAs. I'm trying to read that number above. I think that says 12 episodes, but oh man, I hate how there's still sticky residue here, and it's not like the kind that doesn't move. It moves, so it's like, you know, got to keep picking at it. Ooh, it's different underneath the cover. Occult Civil Servants. And you know what? All that attempt to look at the back of that, probably a moot point, just because I can probably see it here perfectly fine. Well, other than the fact that the camera doesn't seem to be... Well, maybe it is. But yeah, special features. You could see the 3 OVAs, promo videos, and textless opening song. No textless closing. Interesting. It's interesting how they don't show up very easily on camera. Surprisingly hard to see in real life, too. Anyways, Occult Civil Servants. Next up, we have Craft, which is a very interesting looking title. I don't know what to make of it, though. You know, she's wearing something that looks impractical insofar as, you know, I guess she's got some shield there and there, but maybe not on the arms. So then it raises the question, why have it to prevent poking, but you could still poke there, and you don't, I don't know. And he looks like a detective, so they look like they are not a correctly matched up pair. Which, you know, intrigues me, but I don't know what to make of this otherwise. It's a really weird name. If this is an isekai where a cop goes into another world and he does detective stuff, that would actually be kind of really cool. Just because that would be a different kind of story. Now maybe it would suck. I see this is region A only. I see English and Japanese. I see episode 1 commentary, special episode. And what does this say? Bring a knight to a gunfight. Which is kind of what it looked like it was doing in the front, but I don't know if that means it's any good or not. But it certainly looks curious. Is that the same character? It looks like it. She doesn't look as knightly like this, does she? Makes it really hard to tell what this show would even be like. I mean, there we have what's probably her higher up in the city skyline. I think that's him up above, dropping down. Weird. And I took a guess that I didn't have this. Uta Prince Sama Maji Love Kngdom. I think I just had trouble looking up at my previous videos what I had ordered before and just said whatever. I was pretty sure I didn't have this. This is Sentai. But usually I think they re-release stuff as essential, so yeah. This plastic is not coming off like it should. I see region A. I see I see Japanese. Although it does have Spanish subtitles. That's rather interesting. Not as common. Includes a karaoke version, 3 times the rhythm, 3 times the harmony. I did not know there was rhythm harmony sort of stuff going on in this show. Interesting. Whoa. Loose disc. Although, you know, not looking as loose discs, not looking as anime-y on the inside, but oh, actually, since this is a movie, this is disc 1 movie, disc 2 movie karaoke version. This one just is normal movie, and then this one is probably special features. Yeah, disc 3 special features. Well, that's pretty interesting to have an anime movie come out with 3 discs like that, especially in such unassuming packaging. Last but not least, Dumbbell. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift? The complete series. Let's see if we can get some sexy hair tip. This time well, no, I guess I didn't have to do it the special way. It just was on there correctly. And look, there's a dumbbell. I wasn't quite sure what was underneath it. I could just see the little white, but yeah, big surprise. Based on the manga, I see special features. Training course, part 1, part 2 promo videos, web previews, textless opening and ending. Why am I having trouble reading that first one? Gym Intense. Silverman Gym Intense. Weird. Jeez. Region A. Come on, focus camera, because that looks like it's English and Japanese, and I just want to make sure. And now, more plastic. I guess there wasn't plastic on the slipcover, so it certainly feels like it. It feels like there's been a lot of plastic released this week. It kind of reminds me of Eiken. E-I-K-E-N. Although it's more about body proportions do not look correct on, I'm guessing him. Oh, duh, because if it was a her, those would be boobies, right? That's a her. So he's not on the cover. I'm wondering what's up with him. I do not know what kind of show this is. Why does she look familiar? I don't know. Anyways, here's this week's anime DVD collection update. So, only anime I watched was Demon Slayer Part 1. Maybe a Season 1 Part 1. I don't really know. It really depends on where Part 2 ends, or if there's more than a Part 2, but let's see. You know, it's the only thing I watched, but I guess it's a pretty notable thing to watch, because I get the impression that a lot of people who have seen it enjoyed it. I don't have as much insight into a lot of anime communities. It's more like online friends I happen to hang out with. You know, this one definitely came up as something they talked about, something they played around with avatars of it. In particular, they played around with avatars of the younger sister, who I guess is, you know, right there. And she's definitely something that stands out as very unique about the show, from not looking at anything else about it, you know, just from what people present to you from a distance. But as I mentioned before, you know, the artwork like here is actually really pretty cool. You know, it's very reminiscent of some Japanese art styles of the time, although very specific ones, because they obviously don't like to go for that one, because some people like to present that one just as a funny counterpoint, but the truth of the matter is it wasn't designed in a way to capture realism. It was designed to kind of capture an emotion or a feeling, which is, you know, what the Japanese wave one, which I think is the inspiration for the way the water's drawn here, is. But yeah, basically, okay, show itself. So I mentioned the little sister, you know, without even looking at the unique art sort of stuff it has there, and the fact that it doesn't really explain too well why we see it manifest in that way. You know, the thing that you get from a 500-yard distance is, oh yeah, it has that really cute girl that just kind of has this strange, maybe otherworldly look to her, kind of. You know, she's kind of, she leaves an impression. And I mention it so much because the good news is she isn't the only focus of the show, or isn't the only fun thing about it. She's definitely something that stands out as just a very basic, oh yes, she's the cute girl character, but the truth of the matter is, outside of her, things are really good. So, you have our main character who, I guess we don't know too much about him other than he's very hardworking, and he's got a rather unusually adept sense of smell. I don't know if even calling it that is quite right. So, it's interesting to compare this to something like Release the Spice. That's spice spelled with a Y, because they're spies. but they're spies who enhance their powers by eating spice. And not the spice from Dune, which would make sense, but rather, oh, well, when they chew on cinnamon, they kind of temporarily enhance their ability to do stuff, which is weird. But anyways, there's a similarity between the two in that they introduce our main character, and they do introduce this better senses sort of thing, but what Demon Slayer does right that Release the Spice does wrong is they introduce these characteristics as something unique to them, and they keep it center and at front. So when our main character is training to become a Demon Slayer, it's mostly about not only hammering his body into the right shape with the right skills and knowledge, but he's developing his enhanced senses to basically be better. And he develops some insights and whatnot, blah 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 blah. But the point is that, you know, they introduce an interesting quirk of the main character, and they keep that relevant to the main character as he progresses and grows and functions even beyond training. Whereas Release the Spice introduces it, but then conveniently tosses it until it becomes useful. So, you know, it's not as effective as it is in a show like this, where it's just like, the show knows, okay, we're going to make this characteristic interesting, and we're going to make it continue to be interesting, not just introduce the character and have it be an interesting thing every once in a while. You know, their training is very centered around their extra senses and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. It feels like certain parts of it threaten to devolve into superpower battle the show, but I think it somehow stays above that, which keeps it feeling really fresh through the whole part 1. In fact, the only real complaint I have about part 1 is the last episode that this one ends on feels like it was intentionally dragging itself on in order to have the next episode do something instead of being halfway through it, which is fortunate insofar as not being halfway through that, but unfortunate because it set it up and it's about characters meeting each other, and we want to see these conflicts of different powers, personalities, modus operandi, belief systems, etc. Even though the opening kind of suggests where some of this stuff ends up, those conflicts between the characters are really interesting, and this does a good job of setting it up. But, you know, it seemed to intentionally drag itself a little on the last episode here, so I don't even have a hint as to how that's about to flow. Instead, I just have to wait for the next one. But, you know, with any luck, the fact that they delayed it would hopefully mean that the next episode feels correct in the length of its episode. But if it's like, if it resolves the thing in the first 5 minutes, then it's like, well, why did you waste all that time last time? Probably because they needed a cliffhanger or something like that. Maybe not, but, you know, could be something like that. So, overall, it was a pretty good little watch. Other than that, I didn't really specifically watch anything else. Oh yeah, because even though it was the 4th of July weekend and I had a 3-day weekend, I somehow scraped together some last-minute inspiration for a 4th of July avatar on VR chat, and actually I got everything on there that I had originally thought. I just knew that it would need more, but it's actually pretty good where it is. 2 completely custom animations. I made a Roman candle from scratch. It's very lazy, because basically in Blender I just, you know, created a cylinder. I just gave it a very simple red texture. It could be reused as dynamite or something silly like that. But the idea is once I brought it into Unity, I could just throw another texture on there and just, that had red and white stripes, and just let that be whatever. Most Roman candles actually have text on the side saying they are a Roman candle. But for this one, I went with the presentation style and with the particle effect to kind of just let people know, oh, yeah, that's a Roman candle. It's pretty cool. I didn't make the sparkler, but there was a sparkler on VRC Mods, which was good because I was going to have to make a sparkler if I didn't find one there.
And the one they made was, or the one that's on there is actually pretty good. There's just a couple problems with it. Mostly optimization things, things to make it easier to put it together, things like that. Nothing really bad, just, you know, it's now instead of my avatar reporting has 6,500 max particles, it's like 2,600, and that's after I added some other particle things afterwards. So, you know, it went down and up because the sparkler doesn't really use that many particles. It does use a custom shader somewhere in there for, I forget what. I think for the lens flare, but I could be mistaken. But the truth of the matter is, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. It's all there. Outside of that, Animal Crossing, nothing to majorly report. I got my HHA Academy S rank gold trophy, so I've reached that goal. And so at this point, it's pretty much just flower breeding, I think. And, oh my god, so many interruptions. Well, I think if I... Okay, yeah, it stopped. Okay, anyways. Yeah. Because at this point, I'm pretty satisfied where the Blue Rose breeding stuff is. As in, you know, my second island has enough of them set up in a way that it breeds a handful of Blue Roses every single day. Nobody in my peer group has... That would be friends and family, right? Nobody has come to claim any of them yet, but, you know, there's plenty. And I'm going to be moving some away myself soon. Probably over the weekend when I have more time to sit down and do it and I'm not juggling work and anime DVD collection updates and Animal Crossing at the same time. Maybe. Excuse me. Other than that, yeah, I guess that pretty much is everything. Again, if next week there's no anime because this week's anime arrived today instead of tomorrow, so it would show up for next week. Yeah, I know. If that's the case, then I will do another cooking video probably. Yeah, I should be able to figure out by then. But, you know, if anime arrives, I will show it. So, I guess we'll have to see. Y'all, have a nice week.